Alright, I'll get another shot during the day, but I wanted to show you what this looks like about 5:40 a.m. And then it'll make a little bit more sense why I want to put so much work into this area. My phone's kind of just trying to adapt to the dark. Makes it look lighter than it is. You'll see. So the color is not exactly accurate, but you can see we get a nice sunrise right there with several different mountains in the background. That's Mount San Jacinto right here, and that one will be snow-capped in the winter. That's about 10,500 feet. Over here is Mount San Gorgonio. That's kind of where like Big Bear is. That's somewhere a little over 11,000, maybe 11,500. That whole top of that long, right? It's like they call it Old Grayback. That'll all be snow. And actually the reason it's grayback is because the elevation's so high that no trees grow at the top part of it because of the low oxygen level. So you can see what just the beginning of a sunrise looks like from here. And I'm actually gonna creep up the trail a little higher here, show you what it looks like from there. The only thing I got is I kept this ladder here because I have to do one more thing I have to do. I don't actually remember what it is right now. But there's one little detail, and then this project's been like 6 months, and that'll be done. And then added these little tiny trail, little steps. Cool to build a big area up here, but it's just very difficult to access. And this big old rock formation is really cool, but it's huge. This is like 15 feet tall. And it's mountain lion territory, but I don't anticipate seeing a whole lot today. So you get a little higher, get a little more of that view. Let me get up on one of the tall rocks here. And then, as you can see, there's the gazebo and some of the construction. So we're just up a little bit above that now. If you look very closely, you can see the reflection. That's Lake Skinner. Still see a lot of the city lights in the distance. That'd be Temecula mostly. Over here, you can see just maybe a little bit of something. Like that's, we probably passed like Murrieta here, and that might be that might be maybe Wildemar or Lake Elsinore, and then Lake Elsinore would be more like straight ahead there. Can't see much of that. But it's been a lot of work, kind of irrational, but for the view and the sunrise and the sunsets are really good too. That's why it was worth it to me to spend 6 months and quite a bit in material to do that. Alright, here it is. Totally done. Turfed, capped, walled, turfed, walled, stuccoed, a little trail for fun. The whole gazebo's built, painted, roofed, everything. So take a look. Now all these caps are not painted. They're all formed, and that's white concrete, at least the color hardener, so it's actually concrete. Patio furniture's all in. You can see how the stamp turned out, kind of looking at it now that it's been a couple months. The weathered sandstone look. See all the stucco, looking pretty clean. These installed, painted. I did put these shade rollers in so I can put these down. Be no reason at this time. You can see the sun's just coming up. But this was a lot of work. A lot of work. Got these pilaster caps. Had them fabricated, installed, also painted. Got all the steps. You can see the chiseled edge on the steps, chiseled edge on any of the form in place caps like this, chiseled edge on all these caps. As you can see, rolled that turf out and did pretty tight around a lot of these existing boulders, landscape boulders. Got the lights in. Get you a little bit of a different perspective on the gazebo here. And the walkway is full 8 feet wide. Again, a lot of stucco, Brought the turf around the corner. Got power here. Got another couple outlets over there, which I'll show you. All of these stairs. I don't even know the total number. Probably did over 30 yards of concrete here. Yeah, definitely. Probably closer to 40. So that'd be like 4 concrete trucks worth, although only one of them was an actual concrete truck with the pump. The rest of it was hand carried and mixed in a small mixer. So here's, like, let's say this step, for example. You can see got the nice stucco line, got all the chiseled edges here. Did just a little minor circular finish, trowel finish, as you can see, just to give them a little, make sure they have a little grip going down. Did a couple pretty cool things with like a set-in boulder there, set-in boulder here, stuccoed around them nice. Got all the lights in and working on a timer. And so this project took, it took me 6 months, but it in reality was more like 20 years because it was started 20 years ago. So all stuccoed. Bye bye, bunny. All way down there. Way down there. And I'm not zoomed out now. I was zoomed out when we started. I'm 1-to-1 camera now, so that gives you some scope of the length of that wall. And then cut down into this to make this first step really nice and easy, but keep a nice depth on that drainage swale. So we'll walk up them here. I did pressure wash everything, so it kind of left some efflorescence, I believe is the term for it. So I may actually kind of dry scrub this a little bit more. The water leaves some white behind. You can see, I think I ended up with 41 steps, including the top ones. So it's a monster. Right, so including those. And so ended up doing the gazebo at 20 feet this way and 16 this way. You can see the Roman columns. This one, I really tried to blend these covers in with this a light switch, as you can see. This one's just a power outlet. And so this is the Four Seasons. And it's, you'd say Alumawood, but Alumawood's really a brand. This is 100% non-combustible. There's zero wood in this entire construction, which was important because, as you can see, this is the area, and it's summer and we haven't seen rain in several months, and so if something catches on fire, I don't need anything that can burn up here. So all metal, and then the ceiling panels are all insulated. Now that wasn't really necessary because I'm obviously not worried about temperature, but it's a higher quality, and then you can walk on the top of it, and that was especially critical, which I'll show you. I put a red clay tile looking metal roof. You can see double beams, double beam with a filler, so it looks like a really big single. There's built-in gutters. The gutter discharge is here, which I may actually change a little bit. I'm going to really try to get out that way, but that's was the original design. Added the sconce lighting, you can see. And so those are on like a lot of the lighting to get up here, this pathway lighting, the stair lighting, and these are all on a timer. And then if I really want light, I can turn the light on, and I could turn the fan on, control the fan on a timer or on a remote. Like this boulder was one of my favorite parts right here, because when we were doing it, I got a video on it, but there's no wall here, and there was just massive gaping space below this. If you look at the size of the thing, it really, with that much space underneath it, it looked like it might fall. So now that the wall was built, and the wall is anchored into this huge boulder, and there's rebar drilled and set into it, epoxied in, and then stood up. So this has got a lot of strength, so I was able to backfill it. You know, this boulder might move a little, but it's not going to come down. And so that was a big one. And really a lot of cool features on this that, to me, I think, you know, made it worth putting so much work in and doing so much. And interestingly enough, like I was saying, it started 15 or more years ago. This wall was built way back then. You know, this wall was built most likely before 2008. So some of this stuff was done. Some of these walls, like they had done a lot of the footings and the block work, but then it sat for like 15 years, or maybe more, maybe 20. So pretty cool. I'll show you a little bit more about the roof, because the roof was kind of a unique thing. We wanted it to match the house. We needed it to match the house. You can see some of the coloring from the sunrise too. It's pretty nice this morning. But as I was saying, there's that red clay tile roof, or so you would think, and that would be the goal, would get you to think that. But the truth is, that's a metal roof that I put separately of this Four Seasons patio cover construction. I put the metal roof on. It's berridge. It's called S-tile, and then I did a whole row of Spanish tile along the top, as you can see. So the roof turned out really cool. And so this is a massive project, but we're using this every day, and Uh, everybody's into something a little bit different. You could take you could take several really cool vacations for the price of what it costs to do this. But we're not really likely to go traveling. Just not really what we're into. And so rather than travel, we will leash up our dogs and go for a walk. And this is the end point of the walk, so we get like a 1 hour vacation a day, maybe a half an hour a day. So yep, just wanted to share how this turned out. This was all dirt when I started. Cool. And here's another perspective from the driveway. You can see it really comes out on that edge as a cantilever. So we got over 4 feet of cantilevered roof coming over where the columns are. And the Roman columns are really, for looks, there's 3x3 steel posts that are holding that up, and they're 3 feet into the ground in a footing with rebar. So it's strong, but getting this cantilever was a little bit tricky. And so part of the reason for that is, as you can see, just it gets the water off that patio area and onto this natural slope, but B, it gives us more usable space, and C, when you're coming up, you really get to see way up underneath the cover, and I think it looks really good. I'll show you one from really far away. Alright, so here's a quick one kind of showing you what it looks like from down on my main road. You can see it there. I'll show you from a little further away. Alright, so from here you get a little more perspective as to why I was a little funny about making sure that roof matched. So that's my house. We'll just call it a shop. And then, as you can see, the gazebo. So it's hard to tell right now at sunrise, but it's very clear that these 3 match, and 100% you'd have no idea that that's not red clay tile from this distance. So it looks like it matches. It appears to be the red clay tile, and actually that's required here. And so partially those are the reasons I went with what I went with, even after having the vision of sort of what I wanted. Those gazebos don't come with that roof, and so there was a lot of figuring that had to be done to be able to get that to have that red clay tile look. So that's it. That's the final outcome there.